This house was built the year of the Iceland typhoon. It's 65 years old. This time, we're remodeling this Engawa to add a toilet. First, we'll remove these 2 Ken sliding door sashes. On the right, we'll install a 1 Ken, 1820mm sash with storm shutters. On the left, we'll install a small window for the toilet. Once the sash comes out, the basic rule is to replace it the same day. They're living here during the renovation, so I want to finish with the house able to be locked up. And a problem came up right away. I messed up. I ordered an extra wide custom sliding door sash. That means the shutter pocket gets bigger too. It's close, but the sash still won't fit. The sashes are hitting each other. If I trim the sash here, it might go in. But then I can't secure it properly. The sliding door, the shutter pocket, and the small window, everything is packed tight. And the small window won't quite fit. This house is Chukyoma. Tatami are based on 1820mm, what we call saburokuma. It's a bit wider than the more common kantoma. By the way, kyoma, honma, is even larger. Come to think of it, my grandpa used to say this. This house is kyoma. It's wide, he'd say. I was worried about the shutter pocket size, so I drew it in CAD and ordered it custom from the sash shop. The sales rep didn't say anything, so I figured it'll probably be fine. A kantoma toilet window in a Chukyoma house. This was also probably fine. That word probably is the scariest thing on a job site. On the morning of the job, I started getting a bad feeling. Here's the result.
頼むかな、もう一つっていうか。無理なの分かっとったら頼むかな。
50縮めたやつの障子にするか。
安いもんね。
We had no choice but to reorder a slightly smaller one for that inside corner. Still, I'm finishing this today. I'm not giving up that easily.
あ、いけるか。鉛筆貸して。
You can probably tell just by looking at me. I'm weirdly excited.
ここまでサッシが貼ってくるので、耳が15はあるもんで、この外のこの耳、これが耳外で、ここにビスってこれ。ぴったりだね。ギリギリ一丁。はい。
3mm. That's enough. I keep telling myself.
そうしようか。トライしてみる。
トライしていただいて、僕らが言うのも心の。
やってみる。
All right, we're going to force this through. I guess you could call me obsessed with tight margins. Maybe a bit too obsessed. At this point, it's probably a bad habit. And it's already 11 a.m. We're running out of time.
舐めちゃってるね。
We're done removing the shutter pocket. Up until around the 1950s, most window frames were wood. Replacing them with aluminum was a very common renovation back in the day. This house too was already upgraded to aluminum by carpenters in the past. The glass was single pane, that was standard back then. This time, we're switching to high insulation sashes with aluminum on the outside and resin on the inside. And we're using Lowy double glazing too, filled with argon gas. The main job is adding a new toilet, but we're going with higher performance windows. While government subsidies are available, it makes sense to install something good. The new sash is staring at me like, hurry up and install me already. It even looks a little lonely. First, I check whether the posts are leaning. Then I check if the door sill and sill plate are level, and whether the sill plate runs straight through. There are tool marks on the sill plate, traces from the previous sash installation. I start prepping everything so the new sash can go in. I make a straight cut into the sill plate with a circular saw. If the sill plate was still a clean square shape, it'd be easy, but once it's been worked on before, it gets tricky. This house is old, and the sill plate is warped and twisted pretty badly. I can't hold a consistent angle, so the saw base doesn't sit right. I've got no choice but to freehand it and cut by feel. Yep, that one was a fail. I'll admit it, cleanly and honestly.
絶対昨日
The whole thing ended up
読みだ
slanting
けは
off.
道具は走っとったよね。結局道具だった。
The angle isn't good, so I fine-tune it with a chisel. In the end, the only thing you can trust is your hands.
ちょっとや。もうちょっと角度つけてやってとかった。だいぶこけちゃったよね。
力はわかんないです。
地道な。
This is where the sliding door sash sits on the sill plate. You can see it sticking out a bit. This time, I'm leaving the hallway flooring as is. That don't touch it decision is the hardest one. I run the circular saw blade through twice to make a groove about 3 millimeters deep.
こっからは浅いじゃん。1センチ入らなあかんねんね。
結構大変だな。
Honestly, this time, things aren't moving as smoothly as I expected. I mark out the exact position where the post needs to sit on the sill plate. Next is the rough framing for the sash opening. I'm installing 2 studs side by side this time, 4 sun by 1.5 sun. Since we're adding the toilet wall on the inside, I purposely set the post proud. The sashikamo is badly warped, but I keep the post as straight as I can. Outside, it can be hard to set up a laser, and sometimes you can't even see the line. In those moments, a plumb bob is the most accurate. A carpentry tool that shows up once in a while and never betrays you. Since the sill plate is missing in places, I notch the post to match it. In repairs, the basic rule is add as little as possible and fit to what's already there. This is a decorative hinoki trim frame installed by the previous carpenter. It looks solid, but it's been wobbly this whole time.
じゃあしょうがないな。しょうがない。しょうがない。
それなんでやってんの？
カモイがこう傾いとるでしょ。こうやって付けカモイも一緒にこう傾いちゃうので、釘を打ってもこう動かないようにした。隙間を充填してからサッシを振る。
斜めのままつけるのは具合が悪い。
正面から見た目が悪くなっちゃうから。
あ、空いちゃうからね。
そうそうそう。あと室内にここから入ってくでしょ。
こういう感じやん。
そうそうそう。
I leveled the frame, then packed the gaps with sealant.
こうくぐったら水勾配で家の中に入ってくるの想像できる。これ重要よ。
To securely support the heavy new sash and the studs, this is one step I can't skip.
あれ何入ってた
Honestly, we haven't made much progress. A really skilled carpenter could probably finish this much framing in under an hour. I'm sure. I wanted to finish this by noon, but after lunch it's already 2 p.m. Seriously, we're out of time.
これ出したらもうおかしもない。3ミリこっち来たね。
The kamoy sticks out more than 10 millimeters past the sill plate, so I can't stand the post straight like this.
1センチずれが4ミリずれになった。
I switch to the 90mm nail gun and drive the nails in properly. Next is the wall framing on the toilet side. Since every piece is a different length, I install each stud carefully, one by one. There's only one reason I'm being this careful and precise. The sash is extremely tight. There's no margin at all. In the construction world, we call this situation a simple ordering mistake. Make it straight, make it strong, make it square. That's all I'm focusing on, with everything I've got. This is the framing for the toilet window opening. The exterior wall framing and sash frame are now complete. Before installing the sash, I apply a base layer of caulking. Base caulking is waterproofing done before finishing. It won't be visible once everything is complete. It fit perfectly while keeping the existing Engawa floor intact. In new construction, the windowsill is also sealed with waterproof tape. Modern airtight houses are unforgiving. Once water gets in, it's a serious problem. The small toilet window is in. Now for the real question, will the shutter pocket fit?
そっちの角当たらんようにもいったってか体向こうに立ってで傷つけないように水平に上がっていって見えへんいたいたいいよさあ変わって入るね押してみてこうして超えた
超えない
超えない
10ミリぐらいあと10ミリぐらいつけると
超えそう
あこれで
下げもういい
うわこんなことある
すごない
It fit, barely.
おお見てこれ奇跡
With the sash installed perfectly straight, we were left with just 3 millimeters.
連結するわ
はい
I guess this must be the reward for good daily habits. That has to be it. I start setting the windows in place. For security overnight, we temporarily cover the exterior with plywood. The windows were installed right at 5 p.m. That was cutting it close.
ですね。よいしょ。はい。
We clean up the site, and that's it for the day. Building a toilet in the Engawa, day 3, afternoon. Iwatani-san, the plumbing contractor, is handling the toilet drainage work.
動くな動く。こっちから動いてる。奥行っと太いなこれ。
It was supposed to be finished in one day, but we continue with the exterior wall framing. Once the windows, exterior wall and plumbing are done, we can focus entirely on the interior. A project to build a single one-tatami toilet. Carpenters alone can't complete it. No matter how small the job, you need professionals from each trade. There are small details most people will never notice. Details so small, they're not even worth reporting to the client. In repair work, those details matter the most.
ちょっとね、気になる場所というか、やっぱり細かい仕事っていうのは残りますね。金屋さん綺麗に収めてますね。はい、ここですね。ここ。
まあ昔の家なんで、まあ濡れても乾くんですが、次はクロス仕上げですから。
スティックウォーキング売ってるんですけど、これ前の下地と鴨居の間っていうのが傾いてるもんで、水がね、中に入ってくるんで、コーキング打ちます。
ほんとこんだけのことでもね、台風の時はね、漏れます。はい。なぜかというと、我が家が漏れたんだよね、これね。
Fixing a leak at my parents' house in the middle of a storm, using butyl tape, that experience still sticks with me. That memory still guides the decisions I make on the job today.
感じですね。
Modern sashes were installed cleanly into this 65-year-old house. It was tight though.
ごめんなさい。1985と1985。
1985に見える？さっきから。
Next time, interior toilet construction. please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.